I was finishing my scratching before I hit record.
All right.
But I will explain it after I hit
No, do not explain your scratching.
record.
No one watching, listening wants to know you're scratching. We should let them know what they're listening to.
Sure. Welcome to Everyone Racers, the show designed for the world of high dollar racing, worldwide race culture. I don't know what we're doing tonight. This is weird. It doesn't matter what kind of Formula One, oligarchy, crypto team you get your money from.
Don't forget about the chocolatiers.
The chocolate, lots of chocolate. Or mega, I guess, doesn't France own Alpine? I don't know. Look, we're throwing it all out tonight. This is Everyone Racers, Formula One special. Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mental. And we are Everyone Racers. Thanks for listening to our special Formula One episode of our podcast. It's 234.5. Ideally, it's going to be half as long. I think Jeff is too wound up. We're probably not going to beat that goal. But this is what we're here to talk about because we had so much fun last year doing our F1 Fantasy League. We're going to talk all about that, then touch on a couple of predictions. So this is just a quick episode for us to talk about Formula One. And if you want to join us, in, you can bring out the bingo card. It ain't going to do you any good. In regards to Formula One only, what are you working on, Jeff?
I have been listening to every podcast I can find. I have one that I'm going to suggest. It is the Inside Line podcast. If you want to learn about Formula One, absolutely check it out. It's two Indian guys with British accents. Disney Plus runs Formula One in other countries. I had no idea. One guy's the old media manager from Force India. It's pretty cool. Check it out. The Inside Line podcast. On the YouTubes, I like WTF1 and Driver 61 channels. I know Drive to Survive is out.
Yes, it is.
That's what I do when I work out, and it's only had like one workout since. So I've only watched episode 1 or 2. No spoilers, please.
Max wins.
Oh, I kind of knew that.
Yes.
Anyway, Chris, what you working on?
F1 wise, we watched Drive to Survive this weekend.
Everything? Each episode?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It
Jammed it all.
It was snowing. It was snowed for a while, and then we decided to spend the rest of the day on the couch, which we don't ever do. So, yeah, Chris was like, do you want to just watch like a movie? No. Turn it on. Okay, next episode. Gives you 3, 2, 1. Are you ready to turn it off? Nope. Just keep going. Okay.
We had a nice fire and it was snowing, and it was some days it's just nice to do that.
Which we don't usually.
Proper. Yeah. I got 2 episodes in, three episodes because they did Monaco twice, like Monaco for the lower teams and then Monaco again.
We'll keep telling you they do that all over the place.
And that's I kind of appreciate it, especially since they started back a little bit. But that's as far as I got because it was 70 degrees here all weekend, and I've been working on house projects and
that sounds like
some other stuff.
Better.
So yeah, my preparation consists of I can now spell F1.
Whatever.
Yay.
But let's get to the point of the podcast, the news and notes, if you will, Chrissy.
Oh, yeah. So the big news is F1 is back this weekend. What? It's Monday. It's Monday. This is going to mess me up forever. I'm gonna be like, it's not Wednesday. What?
Well, just imagine tomorrow morning when Bill opens up his phone and is like, what?
What?
An E1R podcast?
What?
On a Tuesday morning?
I'm late to work. By a week.
Like 3 days. Okay, so we're going back to hosting an F1 Fantasy League. We had so much fun last year. This year, we're going to use the official F1 site. A little bit different.
They should totally sponsor us.
Absolutely.
Sure. There is not much on the unpaid accounts. There's not really so much on the paid accounts. What? Okay, sign up soon.
It's not relying on the paid accounts. You don't win. You pay for an account.
Got it.
Yes.
Jeff,
Okay,
did you type that?
I did, and there's clearly a typo, and that's why.
Clearly, I have no idea what this
fault.
says. I apologize. I did not write my own copy. I have a man who writes my copy. So
Chrissy needs to Chrissy needs to write all the
amusing.
actual Formula One information.
That's fine.
does.
I've been texting all of the actual information all evening. I just only got to my notes right now. Anyway, so yeah, we decided there's the fantasy GP we used last year. A whole bunch of our friends joined us on that. It was working pretty well, but it was a dude who was made on a WordPress site, and sometimes you could tell. Sometimes it said, "Hey, working on scores. We'll be to you in a little while." It was pretty good, but I didn't realize that actual official F1 has its own fantasy league. I don't know if it's new or not, but I was like, well, let's try it. So we jumped over there, and you need to sign up like now. That's why we're doing this on Monday, because I think it closes on Saturday is usually what things look like. You can go to fantasy.formula1.com, and then you're going to need our code. We should probably just give this a whole bunch of time, so then you can write it down. What?
If we have time, let's walk them through it real quick.
Okay.
So, so this is the website that you'll go to. The link is on Chrissy. You made a message on our Facebook page.
I did. I can bump it too.
Okay. Why is it not?
Are you not sharing?
To share? I'm trying to share. It won't let me push the share button. Share. Just share. Just share, you stupid thing.
I think it's your
Wait,
computer.
let me make sure you can share.
I can share.
All right. Yeah. Advanced share. Oh, who
No, I
can
think
share?
my
All
computer's-
participants.
All right.
This is
Yeah,
bad
no,
podcasting.
my it is terrible podcasting. My old Mac is arguing with me.
I'm very sorry.
Okay.
All right, well, we don't need
If
to show 'em.
somebody else has it. Well, so you go to the league, but we're just going to show you how easy it is to sign up. And that was the goal, is to actually sign up while we're here. But, oh, well.
Well, it was pretty easy. I went in and said, I would like to do this. Oh, and hey, your screen sharing is starting to work now, Mental.
There we go. All right. Caught up to us.
That's good.
So
The thing
Sign
that
up.
got me about the sign up, though, is that you basically create your whole team, and then it says, oh, hey, do you want to form a league? And you have to say, well, hang on, no, I want to join a league, and put in the code that we've got for you. So it wasn't like we usually had, where you have to start off with the code for the league. That came later when I tried to do it.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I was like, join league, join league, join league. And it kept saying, start a team, start a team, start a team. So yes, pick your people, then join the league.
Mm-hmm. And this is set up like most of these, any kind of fantasy thing. You have a certain budget, and you pick stuff within that budget. And you get
But pick stuff is different than, go ahead, GP. It's
you get
different than-
one team
Mhm.
of constructor, that is, and 4 drivers.
5.
And they're 5. Okay.
Yep. There are.
One driver is the turbo driver, and it can't be one of the most expensive drivers. You're not allowed to use them. And this turbo driver gets double points. So
Mhm.
it's a
It's
strategic decision.
It's a lot of pressure.
I kind of actually like that, because I think this league has a little bit more to do with actually predicting the race. Like the old GP league was all right, but you got points for like how many safety cars and where will Sebastian Vettel
Yeah.
finish, and well, that's great, but this one I actually can be like, yeah, Sonoda's going to be awesome this week. Turbo him. I'm never turboing Sonoda.
Hey, according to Drive to Survive, he's getting better, but yep.
Well, now that he's decided to do more than just play video games and eat takeout food, which is basically what his life was before.
Max.
Yeah.
I'm
what it
running in the
seems-
world's greatest, racing series. I'll just live
He's
like a
funny.
It doesn't
Live
look
like a
He has a whole-
20-year-old.
He has a whole
Yeah.
episode, and he's hilarious.
Is he?
Kind
That's
of.
good.
Yeah.
'Cause I really don't know his personality at all.
That's really why the show is good. Is
Yeah.
because you
He's
get
spunky.
to realize. What'd you say, spunky?
Uh-huh.
Spunky's good.
He's got a lot of sass too.
He does have a lot of sass.
He
Yeah,
is.
I know.
I wouldn't call him the 3000, but he's definitely a
No.
Sass Master 1500.
Sure. Yes. So that's why Drive to Survive is great, because
Can
you
we get a
to
quick
see-
review, like how good because we talked about this before. Like, I don't want you to give me the secrets. Like, obviously, I know who
There's
wins
no
and stuff.
secrets.
But like there was concern because the season was so good that if they just anything you talk about that's not Max versus Lewis is not going to be as good as Max versus Lewis.
Yeah.
So was it a good season? Did they build the drama? Did you feel like it was faked? What's the story?
I haven't seen them all.
What's your review?
I haven't seen them all.
No,
It
I'm
was
asking.
okay. It was okay. I don't think it was the best. I think they missed out on stuff. They definitely had things out of order that didn't
Yeah,
make
it was
sense.
everything that guy said, that YouTube video that you posted. So I don't know where it is or who it was. There was a guy who had the review. He only saw the first 8 episodes and he gave the review on it. I think he's absolutely correct. I'm sorry that I don't have it to tell you what it is, but he said it bounces all over the place. It shows video from different races that you're like, where did that even come from? And we kept saying like, is that the race that this happened? No, that must have been the year before. Like we played this game every episode.
Yeah, but we do that.
So
in most seasons.
as he was talking, as you were talking about, you had the turbo driver, and then there's also your mega driver. You get 2 mega driver plays per season as part of the Formula One thing. So you'll go all the way through this menu, and then you'll have to pick your drivers. And then you've got your wild card points based on scoring. And then they let everyone know, by the way, Russians are out.
Got it. If you didn't know that by the time you're signing in for this, you are living under a rock. You do not
I thought
watch
it was
this.
interesting that they valued Magnussen what they were going to value Mazepin.
Which
I'm not saying it's a bargain.
Mazepin hasn't been worth Magnussen his whole life.
Yeah. So I'm not
Yes.
saying it's a bargain.
The
I'm just saying
3-turn,
you can
yeah.
guess who's on my team.
the 3-turn wonder. So obviously, like last year, you've got $100 million. You can pick the most expensive driver, but you're quickly going to run out of money. So we're going to start for this fake account from the bottom and just put all of the cheapest drivers in there.
I would suggest, if I can make a suggestion, to go with your constructor first.
Oh,
Because then you pick your team. I shouldn't be telling you this because I'm giving away Chrissy's F1 secrets. And now I'm going to lose.
Write it down.
But stop. I think you should pick your team first because I think they are
what
expensive.
team I
Right?
think is going to
Exactly.
win.
Right. So if you're gonna pick Haas, then cool. Then you have a lot of money left. But that's probably not gonna go well. So I found it. That's what I did. I guess
I
that's-
do love that shirt, Mental, and I wish I had bought one for me. I'm like, I don't like Mercedes. I'm not buying that stuff. I'm a Red Bull. And then I'm like, that shirt's pretty cool. I should.
And it totally works with the hair now.
Yeah,
I
so-
also realized that I don't have any F1 clothing, so I had to sport Redwood.
I'm wearing strong bad, so
And well, you have a hat on.
that's true.
All
Hey,
right.
the cheat.
Oh, it's
Uh,
grounded.
And I'm definitely
like to
under
play
no
Formula One.
circumstances will I pick Stroll. Sorry. I have standards.
I didn't the last year apparently, and it was the worst decision ever. Thankfully, my team carried me last year without
Say,
Stroll.
you sound like every girl that ever went out with him. Sorry. I had
Oh,
shots fired. All right.
Whoa.
Exactly.
So
All right, so
you pick
Right.
your team. You go with Chrissy's advice, build your car, then select our turbo driver just because I like him. He's still funny. We're going to go with Mr. Vettel.
Yeah. Love Seb.
And a favorite team.
I don't know what the favorite team actually gets you.
I don't
And
even.
I
don't
think that's
either.
just market research for them.
Oh,
That's my
okay.
guess.
There,
Yeah,
let's-
probably.
Then let's go ahead and throw it
Yeah.
out. Ooh, I want to hear about giveaways.
No, don't want to.
No, I do not.
Yes,
Okay.
they want to market to you.
Now, once you've got all of this done, then as it is saving, then you join the league. There's top reasons to play.
But there's
Well,
so
yeah.
much more that you can play. Like if you want to go play in different leagues and go play
Yeah.
there, you
And
go.
they're kid, and so that was the joy of the league that we had last year, is that you could take your team and join a different leagues.
Yeah.
So this gets you to the create a league, and you can do that, make all your stuff because you got your team picked. But if you want to be with us, hit that join with code. All right.
Which is on the
And-
top right-hand side of the screen.
Yes.
Exactly.
Again,
And then
fabulous
it's
podcast. As we
1077 EAA 497. Did I get
Sorry,
that close?
I didn't make that up.
No. So it is a bit odd, but it is 1077 EAA 497. And that is going to get you into the everyone. So if you've already got this Everyone Racers League, please don't embarrass me. Boom. There it is. And now
say Everyone Racers? Is that what you built
Yes.
this on?
No. I made up a name.
That's
This
good.
is literally it's fake account is the name of this one.
Thanks.
So-
I was just like, but I already made one in there.
Terrible.
So
We're so
okay.
mad.
Yes, we have joined the Everyone Racers League successfully.
All right, hit the
Oh.
standings button because we can see who's in the league
You
now. We'll give
can't.
him a
Wait,
shout
no,
out.
actually, I'm sorry.
You can't.
It did not like my code.
Well, this is bad
Hmm.
podcasting.
This is
This is
terrible
terrible.
podcasting. Terrible podcasting.
Yes,
All
let's
right.
talk about the damn season.
Sure.
Yeah.
Please.
While he's doing that, we
Make a
can.
team, put the code in,
Team, get the code.
join. There you
put
go.
it in.
Done.
And it'll be on all of our social medias
There you go.
and linked in the show notes.
All right, let's talk about the real season. Who's excited? Raise your hand. Mental's not excited. He's like,
I am, but I just, I'm not a watcher, so yeah.
All right. Let's talk about the new cars. Who wants to talk about the new cars? They are brand new. The motor is the same. Engine and powertrain is the same.
That's they're not completely brand new.
Yeah. Cars are different. The cars are drastically different. If you haven't seen anything, the rear wing is totally different. It is a totally new design. There is a lot more ground effects. Everything underneath is smooth and tunneled and will create a great sucking sound, unlike Nikita Mazepin's just talent levels. And it is causing some issues. I think the cars look drastically different this year than like in the past. Like the Mercedes didn't look that much different than all the other cars. That like they were different paint schemes, but everything looked exactly the same. This year, the front wings I think are very different. Rear wings are all the same, but the side pods is where all the action is. So,
Yeah.
Anybody want to talk about side pods?
Well, they're the bits that go over the side of the cooling stuff in the car, essentially, and guide the airflow to it and around it and stuff. And everyone had them pretty much the same until Mercedes came out this week with something much different in shape. Instead of it's basically portrait mode instead of landscape mode, and much smaller.
That's a great way to put it. There is a maximum amount, or is it a minimum amount of hole?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
everyone made it letterbox, kind of up high so they could make air go around the car. Mercedes said, nope, portrait. Sucked it in, and they have almost no side pods. So that's actually kind of cool. It's interesting.
They also are using the side impact bars to mount their mirrors and also making them like into wings. And that is bothering some people. They're saying, I don't know if you're allowed to do that.
Yes.
Not allowed not to do it, brah.
Right.
Can't
And at this
can't
point, you
tell a
have
bunch
to
of geniuses not to do something.
you have to share with FIA like all your CAD stuff on things before you just go making it. So like if it was going to be a problem, it was already going to be a problem, and it wouldn't have made it this far. So
I
Yep.
like that they went to testing and they're like, here's our new car. And then they have the real car hidden in the back. And then they went to second testing and they're like, here's day one's car, day two car. And it was totally different. And they're like, ah. Anyway, I'm excited.
I haven't I feel like I haven't seen the cars that much because we haven't been able to watch any of the testing that's really gone on yet.
Yeah, we've only
So
seen like still pictures because we are
Right.
not British.
This next point, I had to have explained to me 10 minutes before the podcast, but this is going to be a problem. It's basically on your longer circuits,
You ready for the new buzzword of the season? Porpoising.
which normally in aerial refueling means you're going to throw up.
Well, they might be throwing up too. It
Yes.
can't be.
Mhm.
It can't be fun.
Or in small boats, it means you have your trim setting correctly on your outboard motor.
So let me see if I can describe it for the people who might not know what it is. The new ground effects cars use a lot of sucking from underneath the car to suck the car down further. So they suck the car down. They suck the
Much
car
like
down.
Mazepin's talents.
Exactly. And at some point, it goes too low, and it pops back up.
Because it
And
loses
then-
the airflow underneath, which is
loses the
creating the
airflow.
downforce.
So it pops back up and immediately starts sucking down again. And I have heard a I've heard a commenter describe that
Chris is bouncing up and down.
you can totally see it. You could totally see the heads of the drivers moving, and they say it is so rhythmic that you could if you could snap your fingers on beat, or if you were a drummer, you could drum it to a beat. It happens quickly and just
Ugh.
so yeah. Drivers have
they-
not said that they're getting sick, but they said they can absolutely feel the motion, and it is disconcerting.
And so they didn't know about this because it doesn't happen in a air tunnel. Is that correct?
I think it because they do rolling tunnels. Like the wheels
Mhm.
actually roll in these rolling tunnels. But I think what's happening is because the rolling road wind tunnels, you can't actually touch the conveyor belt. They think that's what's happening. It's actually when the front nose scrapes the
Mhm.
surface, that's when the air stops.
Right.
And they never would allow that in a rolling road wind tunnel, so that's why they didn't notice it.
Now, is this affecting every team or just some of the teams?
Many of them.
Because I think that's going to be a thing. And I think the team that learns to dial their suspension to utilize this, or the driver, and let's face it, these are the finest drivers in the world that can predict that up and down motion, set it so that their down motion is leading into a corner. You're going to see massive advantages there. And you're really going to start sorting out who is a super skilled driver versus who is the pilot of a super skilled machine.
Yeah,
I don't think you want this ever at all. I think it is.
No, you don't. But if you have it,
well, you got to get rid of it. They've got to find a way to make it go away, whether it's changing the height of something or the car or angles of things to make it stop entirely. Because once it is not pushing down, you've got no traction at all, and it's terrible. Yeah. So, like, these cars exist on downforce. So if you've got to find a way that you always keep it and not lose it. That's the problem.
They basically say, crank up the suspension. You won't porpoise, but you'll be slower.
So they find the balance.
Find the balance, exactly.
It's like when you're setting timing by ear and you advance it a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, until it knocks, and then
go back a little.
That's
porpoising. We will see it. Who wants to talk about the wheels?
These wheels look terrible. They're 18s instead of 13s, but they have basically the worst wheel cover you could possibly put. It's just like this flat wheel cover.
It's like a little.
Yeah. The reason it exists is they don't want air going through it. Yeah, exactly. It looks like the crappy winter Steelies
you
can put on your car.
Yeah,
apparently they just don't want air going through the wheels, because a lot of the changes they tried to make this year are to make it so that the cars could race near each other better. And they're trying to keep the air from being disturbed around the sides of the car so that they can race close. They want the air just to go up. So that is apparently the big deal with the wheels, why they all look stupid.
Yeah, they do.
But Alpha is the only one that seemed to be doing anything interesting. And they have red and white stuff on their colors on their wheel covers, which matches their livery a little bit. Looks nice.
Yeah.
And they said I heard that they sometimes will run the reds and sometimes will run the whites. So they're like, is this now sponsorship opportunities?
I think McLaren was also playing around with LEDs on there to be able to put things on the wheels. If you had it programmed right, you could even have the position of the car and things like that.
Well, they sell that now for bicycle, to where the rotation of the LEDs. So the programming and the technology already exists. But that is interesting. You could start marketing, smiley faces or drink Red Bull, or a lit up Mercedes emblem. Yeah. Speaking of, there's Mercedes, and they're not side pods. They're landscape side pods. And then there's who's this? There you go. The Haas car, which, not good car, good looking paint job though.
Well, that's the old Haas car.
That's the old one.
Exactly. Yeah. That your colleague's coming off there. So
yeah, it already is. So these are the preseason renderings.
Yeah.
And as opposed to the actual pictures.
Yeah. The Alpha wheel cover thing, I think they did a decent job with that one as well.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't go to my favorite.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
Those are
Can
the
I say
pick
Aston
the
Martin's
get a real
car-
picture instead of the
Yeah, Aston Martin's
projections.
car looks so hot. I want to become I'm already a Seb fan. I think that is the best looking car. Fight me. They did a great job. It is the dark green, and then they have like this lime green stripe, and they put Aston Martin in lime green, and it looks fantastic. Best new livery in the
I
paddock.
don't know. There's so many good there. There's so many
I'll
good-looking
give you that
ones.
it's good looking, but I'm actually genuinely impressed because I, done all of the research about 5 minutes before the
Yeah, I'm
podcast
still
started.
looking at them right now.
Um, but I think that the Alpines are looking really good. I like that shade of blue. That should be your Aston right there,
Getting there. Oh, thank you.
Jeff.
I was pulling it up.
So if you
Yes,
it's
there it
it's
is.
it's that same kind of just really nice metallic.
Yeah, British racing green, which
Yeah.
the color it should be. Yeah, I liked you said that you liked Alpine, right?
Mhm.
I wasn't digging Alpine, but they have two different liveries. One of them has the pink all over it for BWT. Then it looked hot. Before that,
Pink-
it was just
all
kind of blue and
pink?
blue. No, it's blue. It's all blue. It's all like the blue, the light blue and dark blue,
Yes,
and then they put the BWT pink in it, and it
Mhm.
looks pretty cool.
but
then,
not the
so.
They
full.
also have one that is all pink too.
That's the one
Oh,
I
they
was saying.
do?
They
I
have a
didn't see
back
that
and
one.
forth one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Ah.
in fact, give me a handful of seconds. Here we go. And there it is. There's
Is this
their
the all pink
and
one?
they even show, well, it's both. It's the
Oh,
all
okay.
pink and the blue.
I'm waiting. Am I the only one who can't see it?
No,
Sorry.
we're all
There it
waiting.
is. There it is.
There we go.
Oh, see, I didn't see the all pink one. See, I like it. I think it's hot too. Yeah. Mhm.
It is definitely
Unreal.
stands out because there's sometimes every once in a while there were a few that you looked at them and you couldn't tell.
Well,
I don't know the
Alpine and
difference.
Williams tend to
Mhm.
look alike because they're just kind of blue.
Right.
Blue, blue, blue.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's talk new
Red
drivers.
Bull didn't
Oh.
change like at all.
No, it looks
No.
the
I
same.
know.
Mercedes back to the silver.
Looks good.
Yeah, I think it looks
Mhm.
good. No problem.
Yeah.
Let's talk new faces, new places. Who you got? Who's going to be greatly improved? Who's going to make a splash in their new place or a new person? Who do you like?
Russell,
Russell.
Mm.
because of how well he did in his fill-in at Bahrain or wherever it was a couple years
And
ago.
he did well in one race in or two. I think there was two last year in the Williams that he did surprisingly well.
He did better than you should in a Williams, but yeah,
That's
he showed that in
That's absolutely
in an unfamiliar car, in a lot of pressure, he can do it.
And a
he
car
did
that
really
didn't
well.
fit. He needed to chop his off at the calves to get into the car,
Pretty
and he
much,
didn't.
and he still did really
and he
well.
Still did well.
So
Yeah.
that tells you something about the kind of talent that he's got. So I think he'll do really well.
Will he be a second banana or a threat to Lewis?
Second
Yes.
banana. What is a second banana?
Pretty much, yeah.
Botas was
Bottas.
Botas was a good soldier. He did what he needed to do to promote Lewis's wins.
To do for the team.
For the
He
team.
was a team player.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
he was
think
doing to
George-
promote Toto's wins.
True.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I think George will do. He will race as hard as he can, but I think ultimately he will listen to what he is told. He might not always be happy about it, but I think he'll do it and he'll push.
So in Drive to Survive, he had a whole thing where Latifi, right? Yeah, Latifi was
Latifi.
doing well, and he said, "Whatever Nikki needs, let me know. I didn't need to do." And so he was totally being a team player, like what Bottas did, like just okay, whatever is going to do the best for the team. If we get some points just for us, and it's not me, then let me figure out what I need to do for him. So
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that
volunteered
made him.
He said, "I'll compromise my race to help him."
And Toto has built not just a Formula One team, but a career on exactly that. Toto is a team guy. Yes, he's got a superstar with Hamilton, but you're not showing up to Mercedes if you're not going to be a part of the team. And I think he also has to look down the road because, every year, is it Lewis's last year? Is it easy? Is he going to Tom Brady this shit? Who cares?
Probably.
But
Yeah, Chris, what's up with that? We won't go. into
you
football.
you always
He's in Tampa Bay. He's not a
yeah,
His
why-
gas
yeah, why
prices
is
make
he
back
Chris's
up.
problem?
He did-
Yeah, he's got that AMG, his AMG G wagon. He's got
Yeah, he's got to
So-
fill up the G wagon. Needs to go
Yeah.
back for another season.
so you can't just have your superstar then decide to walk away and then you got to rebuild from scratch. You've got to have that layered backwards. That goes back to when Brett Favre retired, and they're like, he's like, I want to come back. They're like, sorry, we built a team around our new quarterback because we had to make plans for your eventual departure.
I mean,
Go
it
play
goes-
for anybody but Minnesota.
It goes back to Daniel Ricciardo leaving Red Bull because Max was coming up and there was not room for two alphas. So does Mercedes have a two alpha problem? Y'all say no.
We'll see in next year's drives to survive.
Well, or I think where it's going to be telling is what happens at Mercedes after Lewis actually does leave.
Yeah. So
'Cause
you
you've
think
seen-
he's not?
You've
yeah.
seen Ferrari, you've seen all the big teams fall flat on their face the year after the departure of their superstar because they were not prepared for it. And I don't
Yeah,
think
I buy this.
I don't think Toto's that stupid.
I
No, I
like this theory. And Bottas was never going to be that superstar. He, especially towards the end of he has shining moments for every once in a while, and then he's like 7th, 8th. You're just like, what is even happening? Because believe me, I and still am a big Bottas fan, but it's not.
Yeah.
He was never reliable, and he was not the superstar. But Russell could be. So I think that's
Well, then
Get him a little
what-
mentoring, get him a little seasoning under the old head.
Well, what
Bring him
does
up.
this mean for Valtteri and his new team? Is he going to be a mid packer? Is he going to be a backpacker? Where is he going to be?
hard to tell. He's in a
Yeah.
different car.
And that car hasn't done very well so far this year. So
But now he's the alpha. So the question is, was he driving the Mercedes as well as it could, or was he letting the car down? Like when all those times when he was second, because he was on the podium next to Lewis
Yes.
a lot.
Mhm.
Was that the car or was that Valtteri?
How do you
I
know
don't know.
that? All right, because I was gonna say, like, he's never
I
been in
don't
another
know.
car. The only way we know this is because Russell was in another car. Like, that's the only reason
Well-
why and he's good.
Yeah.
Ish.
And
Yeah,
what
well, Valtteri
and
used to race
what,
for Williams
car?
too. So
what car was Russell in?
Oh yeah,
Well,
he's in the Merc.
yes,
So-
being in
right,
the good
so-
car, but that's such a unique circumstance we had that one
Absolutely.
time where one guy from a backmarker team got to drive the good car,
The best
once.
car on
Right.
the yeah.
right?
Well,
and
and
it
there
worked
was a
out
great
well. It was epic.
there was a great meme at the end of it of this little like toddler and Max is leaned over, saying hi to the toddler, and someone put there underneath it, they said, and I want you to do it on the last lap so that he knows it was the car and never him. So as much as I like him my love for Mercedes is not because of their drivers, it's because of Toe, and it's because of the ship, and it's because of now to drive a car to be the best, you have to be the best. But I'm gonna stick with it's the team, and you put a driver with enough talent that has a open enough ego to listen to an experienced team principal, you're always going to have a contender.
Yeah,
See?
who's with Valtteri at Alpha? It's Bottas.
The new guy,
and-
Zoo.
Oh, the new Japanese guy. Ganyu. I don't know his name.
He's Chinese, but yeah.
Chinese. What else? I don't know.
Yeah.
He's the Chinese knockoff of Lance Stroll.
He did bring a lot of money. Do we care about anyone else that's new? K Mag.
Oh yeah,
Happy to have him
he's
back.
going to be
Nice guy.
hilarious.
I wouldn't call him
Yeah,
new
yeah.
though.
Yeah,
I
no,
know
he's
it's
not.
No,
dude.
he's not.
He's got a ride. He didn't have a ride before. I'm just thinking.
Yeah. He was very quickly packing up his stuff.
Pack up his stuff and run away. I need to find that meme. That was my favorite.
You know he was supposed to drive this weekend at Sebring.
Yep, not anymore.
Yeah. Sorry, brah.
He literally had a conversation, wasn't sure he was going to be picked. Like they talked to him about, hey, do you think it's possible? Can you get out of your contract? He was like, well, I don't know how that went. I got to go to Florida. He flew to Florida, and when he landed, they called him and they said, come back to France or wherever they were, England. I don't know. Anyway,
And honestly, 10 minutes after he's in Florida, not going to be hard to get him to leave. They got the new venomous spiders there now that are infiltrating.
So yeah, that sounds great. It
Florida.
sounds like a thing to leave. So I was also thinking about who is the last minute guys, right? Like, so you need to have a super license to race in F1. You've got about, I don't know how many, 10 people that you're pulling from. Although I guess you have possibly have some F2 people, but I don't know what the regulations are. If you're already set in a car, I don't know that you could just like, hey, F1, like I'm the understudy, and like when JV has like an extra guy and you're just like,
this is actually a problem because Pietro just won Formula 2.
Yep.
Or 2, whatever. So he's not allowed to run in Formula 2 because when you win, you cannot defend your title.
Oh, yeah.
So he is the backup driver for
Renault, I think.
Renault.
Alpine. Sorry.
Alpine.
Renault.
Alpine. Yeah.
Same thing.
So yeah, French, whatever. But there was talk about him going to Haas because they would likely pay for his seat the same way, because he's going to basically not drive this year. He's got no no place he can drive. So if they could put him in the Haas, he could gain experience and still be under contract. But didn't happen. K-Mag, you get the seat.
Well, again, Haas isn't done yet. They want up another car, and it could totally be one of those that you are so out of here.
No.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on. I got one more question, and then we're going to go to the end of the show and do Around the Horn. What's the possibility that the new car just scrambles everything up? Somebody comes up with something new, and all of a sudden it's like McLaren, or something even worse, something even crazier. Or what is the possibility that one of the front runners, really talking about 3 at this point, Ferrari, Red Bull, and Mercedes, did something wrong in their design and can't fix it because you can't change your car? Anybody have any thoughts on that?
To your first question, almost zero. You look at the brains that are in every F1 team. Take the dumbest engineer in F1, and he could send everybody to the moon tomorrow. The top 3, these are some of the finest minds in the world. Forget it. There's no chance. Now, to your second question, that they got something wrong, I give that a 50-50. And then they're screwed.
Especially with porpoising, I feel like there could be things that somebody didn't think of or come up with and thought that let's just turn it up to 11, and all of a sudden that's not appropriate.
Send it.
We talked about a couple of teams have flipped the pull rod, push rod scenario. That could go totally wrong.
Yeah.
There's still so much design changes or design choices that are different between the cars. No one knows yet. Like eventually they'll all start to look more like once they figure out who's got it right. Like none of them are a bad solution. Just one of them's slightly better in certain ways.
But what part is making that car better, I think, is going to be mystifying people, because not everybody has the cool looking rear wing. Like a lot of them have the little bend out and the little dip in the middle, but not all of them do. Most of the front runners do, but it's like things like that you've got some different things that is that what's making them good?
One of my podcasts, they said the rear wing looks like ribbon candy. And I thought that was a good description of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
but it's very different, and it's not. And they messed with wings last year, but not too much. So that's why I think
I think there's a really good chance that one of the mid packers did something right, and all of a sudden an Alpine I hate to call McLaren a mid packer because they really shouldn't be, but of a sudden
they were 3rd and 4th. That's 4th is mid.
Yeah, I guess. All of a sudden, what are the chances?
Rick just like shows up and does something, then maybe we'll get somewhere.
What? Pulls a clue out of his ass and starts driving right? I don't know.
He had like an episode and a half, so he was.
He did not have a good year.
No, and that's really what that whole thing was about. They focused a lot on him.
And I think the porpoising thing is not just going to be your solution is going to work for this track or this track or this track, but you look at the difference, the Yas Marina circuit, it's mostly flat versus the USGP at Coda. And everything in between there. And you're going to see solutions to this, but they're going to excel in this environment, not in that one.
I think we've had years and years and years of Mercedes just dominating and nobody even getting close. And then all of a sudden there was like a challenge. And it has been years since it hasn't just been Hamilton. In past years, there were, like the short courses, the Ferraris did well, and in the long courses, Williams did well. So it could go back to where certain courses favor certain designs, and we're seeing different winners every week, but maybe it's the same 3 or 4 cars dominating by a minute ahead or 30 seconds ahead, but then the next race, they're not competitive. So that
the midfield is going to get a shakeup, but
yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is exciting because last year was kind of like you had a whole lot. Everything was pretty much the same. There's like little changes here and there, but you had the blocks of your like Williams and Haas. They were always going to be at the back. You're like, they're all remaining cars. Right? I was saying when Haas was in the back every time, I was saying that they got the best view of the guy running by with the green flag because they could see it in their side mirrors because they literally
could hear his footsteps.
They were like, hey, Nikita, don't spin on the first corner, okay? That's what they were telling him. Just not the first either, right? So yes, or third or fifth, but maybe that would be fun. Now, if they're not always last, and without Mazepin, you might actually get there.
Which leads to my next segment.
Sure.
We are recording this. We're going to replay this in 9 months or a year or whatever the hell this. How many races? 22? It's a lot.
23.
They're committed
Russia,
to 23.
Or
yeah,
was,
but they'll find a replacement because when they were
Go
doing
back
the
somewhere.
When they were doing the COVID dance, they were like, we are doing 23 races. We lost too much money.
All right. Bold prediction time. I need a specific prediction. I want it to be bold. Get out there and do something exciting. I'm the only one who wrote anything. So if you want me to go first, I'll go first. Are you ready for my bold prediction?
You want your unbold and actual bold?
No. Everybody make a bold one, but I'm going to start with some unbold ones just for shits and giggles while you all think.
Okay.
My unbold prediction, in case anybody missed it, Hamilton said the Mercedes isn't competitive. We're going to have a lot of trouble this year. He's lying. Liar, dreads on fire. The Mercedes is still going to dominate. He's kidding you.
I want to challenge this only because if the car could be not competitive, he's the GOAT. So like you've got this guy, he could say the car is not as good as last year's, but that doesn't mean that he's not going to make things dance.
He is
that's
the
what he
king
does.
of getting on the radio and going, "Oh, my tires are done, mate." And then he just does 25 more laps. He's lying. The car is fine. That's unbold prediction. Everybody knows that's true. Don't even think of it. Okay. Everyone says Max's championship is tainted because of Masi's poor call. He does not give a flying F what you think. It's only going to make him mad and hungry, and he's going to drive just like he did last year. Another completely unbold prediction.
Like an ass.
Here's my bold prediction.
I stood next to the television and yelled at it, and I literally have seen it before.
Okay,
and I'm like,
okay.
I know it happens. They're like, Masi, that was a bad call. And you're like,
Chrissy,
why?
Chrissy,
well, how is that even okay?
Chrissy, get a pillow.
Well, what?
You might be a little butthurt. I'm just saying.
Look, man, Masi's bad call. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
They had the Red Bull team saw an opportunity, and you know what? If this plays out our way, we need to be on our best tires. They took the four of us on the screen have done the exact same thing. We have made
They took a chance.
gamble.
The
We
only
made
chance.
gamble calls.
I don't like the call. I forgot to bring up a bad memory.
Okay,
But,
I'm not
yeah.
bringing that up. Just
Yeah,
hold
I
it.
just,
of
but
the
I
cars
just,
in the
I had this,
middle.
I had this poor image of, Max Verstappen, like, he's walking out of a restaurant and there was Max, a photo. And he's got, two French models on his arm and he gets in his car and he goes home and, he comes in, then he goes into the back of his cabinet and he grabs a picture of like a package of ding dongs and just goes and sits in the corner of his bedroom going, Chrissy doesn't like me.
No.
No way. No way.
I thought you meant that I was going to go kick him in the nuts when I was walking out of the restaurant.
Max had to flush his phone because Twitter kept going every 5 seconds. When everybody tagged him and said you didn't deserve the win, he's going to be pissed. He's going to be hungry.
Okay.
Here's my bold prediction. Here's my
deserved
bold
it.
prediction.
fine.
He totally
Bold
he
prediction
deserved it.
time.
He earned
That's
it.
what we're trying to do. Bold prediction.
Now we're
time.
yelling at sports. Chris loves yelling about
I
sports.
know. Bold prediction. Haas will not suck. No longer back marker. 5th or 6th.
What?
My bold
That's
prediction.
bold.
In the championship or just in a race?
Championship.
Okay.
Frequently in the points. True mid packer. 5, 6-ish. End of the season.
That puts them over your Aston guys.
Maybe Aston will be good too.
All right, I've got a non-bold, and there's going to be not just 2 teams regularly competing for the win.
Okay.
That's non-bold. I think it's going to be either Ferrari or McLaren is going to pick it up. Probably Ferrari, but let's see. Their powertrain still might not be good. It's the same powertrain that's been their weak link for the last couple of years.
Yes.
So,
Since they got caught cheating.
Yep, exactly. The bold prediction I will have is that Albon thrives being away from the Red Bull toxic environment.
Ooh.
He might
I
not
would
be
like to
doing
see
all that well
that.
because he's with Williams, but he'll be beating like similar kind of quality to Russell over Latifi, like totally doing well.
I love
Like
that.
he'll be the number one.
Oh, I like that.
Like
Even
that
though he's
too.
idiot,
I like
did he have-
Albon. He's a good guy.
Did he have he was a backup this past year, so he didn't
Yep.
drive at all?
Didn't
No.
drive much.
He drove like
He-
in DTM and he did some test. He was the test driver for
Yeah.
Red Bull.
Didn't he fill in somewhere when somebody got COVID? I thought he was like in the AlphaTauri or something.
That was Kubica,
Was it? Okay.
That's
which is why Mazepin is
Mazepin got number 21.
he's ranked 21 out of 20.
That's so terrible. Oh, Mazepin, you're horrible. All right, bold predictions. Chris, is there a number there, or you're just gonna say?
No, I'm just
No.
going to say he's going to thrive more than
You said
he gets
you said beat up Latifi. I think that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Not beat him up. Both are very nice.
No.
But-
Do very
but-
well. Do like
but similar to what George
marketably-
did.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
always better
You're
than
the dominant
Latifi.
driver.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because
Albon,
he was in
dominant
a
driver over Latifi.
he was in a
Love
more
it.
supportive environment, and Red Bull makes no bones. They're
No.
like, yeah,
No,
look,
that's-
you
chew you up,
either
spit you out.
this is the wolf of Formula One. Either you're in or you're out. Yeah, I'll give them that. Unbold prediction: Mercedes is taking the 9th consecutive championship, baby. The constructors, I think they're doing it. Bold prediction:
It's not consecutive, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
it is 9th. It'll be their 9th consecutive constructors champion at the end of this
Okay,
year.
Constructors,
is it-
yes.
Is it? Oh, well, didn't.
No, Hamilton lost, but Mercedes still won.
Oh,
They can-
okay.
'Cause they performed as a team.
It's
Yeah,
true.
I'm sorry.
But bold prediction: this is Hamilton's last year. Win, lose, or draw. He's like, he doesn't show up to the practices. It's not that he isn't the GOAT anymore. It's that he's bored. He doesn't love it. We made the joke about Tampa Bay.
Tom
Brady. Brady's back because he loves it. He just loves it. The same reason all those guys keep coming back long after what could have been their greatest year ever is because they just enjoy it. I don't think Hamilton loves it anymore.
I like Chris's response to why Hamilton is continuing. Chris says that he has a platform and he wants people to listen to it, and the diversity, the inclusion, he can do good things, and he's also making a shit ton of money. So it's work, it's a lot, it's a lifestyle he's bought into, but I think until he feels like progress is made with the things that he's doing on the side, then he will quit. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that this was Chris's original idea of he's utilizing his platform, and that's why that's why. Am I talking out of turn, Chris?
No, you're absolutely right.
This idea, right?
He gets more exposure to evangelize the causes he cares about as a winning driver than as a retired driver.
Yes, and I think
I love that.
He is not necessarily done with his stuff, and I think the end racism is getting there, but I don't think that he's made the strides. Again, you may be correct, but I thought this was an interesting turn on. It's not just because he's bored, it's because you've got other things going on. You have to be a good race car driver, stay in it, be great, right? Because as soon as he goes downhill, people are going to notice it, and I don't think he wants that. So I think he's going to want to keep up, but I think that was an interesting thought process on Hamilton and his stance. Okay, so I'll go unbold. I don't know. There's a lot going on here.
You don't need an unbold. That was just a suggestion.
One person we have not talked about at all this evening is AlphaTauri and Gasly. So I'm going to go bold and say Gasly's going to do really well. I don't know if I'm going to call him in the top, but he had moments of brilliance. I don't even know that he made any podiums last year, but he came in fourth a couple times and he did pretty well. And I think he is a good driver. AlphaTauri is hopefully making similar strides and changes as Red Bull is, because they are sister teams and they want them to do well. So I think AlphaTauri might be a secret, because we're not talking about them in those tops. We keep saying Ferrari, McLaren. I'm thinking we might want to, that they might, if we think that Red Bulls is going to do as well as we think they're going to do, I think they probably try to infect some of that into AlphaTauri.
Excellent. Is there a number you want to put with it?
No. I'm non-committal.
Mid-packer?
Yes, at least. Yes.
Like there's 20 drivers. Will he get to be 10 to 12, 15 to 7? He's probably 15 to 17.
Yeah. Bye, Jeff. Okay.
Yeah. All of a sudden, Jeff is gone.
Yes. So
good thing Mental's recording.
I was going to say
the mid pack number 50. All right. So
I'm going to say mid pack. I'm going to say
mid-pack driver.
10 or higher is what I'm going to say. 10 or higher.
All right.
That's what I'm going.
I think he was regularly pretty much there this year. Like he had a lot of starts up in sixth and fifth.
Okay, so I feel like I'm not looking, so I didn't.
And he knows how to run in a crowd. No, this is I'm down with this.
Yeah, just because he's somebody we hadn't talked about. So, okay, we're gonna end this show without Jeff.
Yeah,
unfortunately, and then we're all gonna text Jeff to make sure that he just didn't get kidnapped by a flying saucer or one of those crazy
mic dropped. So
those crazy New Jersey
Devils.
Yeah, New Jersey tornadoes that pop up in there. Stick to this channel, Chrissy. Tell them what they're going to get in just a couple of days.
Okay, so in just a few days, we're going to have. Do you know how to say his last name? Jake from Out Motorsports. Hughes. Okay, there's a lot of.
He'll correct us. I'm sorry.
Yeah, from Out Motorsports and results from Sonoma, which is going to be really fun. So I'm just going to keep going with it. Thank you for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers.
No.
Oh, I was like, what? We hope you will enjoy the world of driving, racing, and building, because everyone's a racer, even you. You can you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. And if you didn't, you can go there and tell us why. Give us a 5-star rating. And even if you hate us, just give us, just tell you so you like us, because you do. If there's any questions or you have show ideas, comment us on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. You can
tell us your bold prediction and unbold prediction.
Yes, that would be so much fun, because I can't wait to hear when you say wrong. Text us at 484-243-0455. Thank you for the music. Find us on Instagram, Twitter. We are on every social media, Snapchat, Are you Snapchatting? I don't know. Whatever.
I'm not Snapchatting, but we're on Snapchat. Reach
Okay,
out to
good.
us. Send us a message on
Good.
Snapchat.
We're not there. Nobody's looking at it, but you can go there. YouTube, Facebook, Everyone Racers, Reddit /E1R.
And
Thanks
most
again.
importantly, join our official Formula One Sports
Oh,
League.
Thank you. So let's go back to this real quick because that code is correct. We found out 1077EAA497. It's in the show notes if you missed it. It is correct. And if it's not, tell me about it because it is.
Yeah. We've got seven people have joined already.
Oh, fantastic.
2 of those are lame because one's a fake account that we just made. And the other one is our Everyone Races account. But yeah, we had so much fun last year. And if you ever find out who we are, Maxim Lexi, we got your trophy. You got to come claim it. We're going to do the same thing this year. We'll get you a trophy. We'll figure out some way to get you some E1R swag, or just come by the pits. We'll give you a beer.
That sounds great. Thanks again. And until next week, keep those shiny side. I should keep the shiny set up unless there is no shiny side. But if you're driving an F1 car, there's a hell of a lot of shiny on that. So just keep your wheels down.
And clear.